Thanks to the Asus Transformer Prime's USB ports, playing games is a joy because you can use video game console controllers. So let's see what you can do. First of all, unfortunately, you can't use an Xbox wireless controller because there's no way for the wireless controller to communicate to the Transformer Prime. However, you can use a wired controller and plug it straight into the Asus Transformer Prime and it works straight away. The only thing you have to contend with is the flashing green dot on the Xbox controller, which will flash unless you get an application to stop it from doing that. Alternatively, you can use a PlayStation 3 controller by again plugging it into the Transformer Prime's USB port and it will work fine. But the added incentive here is that you can use the Bluetooth on the PS3 controller. So turn on Bluetooth on the Transformer Prime and then hold the PlayStation button down and pull the lead out. That should connect the PlayStation controller with the Transformer Prime, and you will tell this because the PlayStation button acts as a home screen. So return to the game you want to use and there you are. You now have Bluetooth. Once you're connected, look for a configure gamepad option within the game, and that should allow you to map the controls of the controller to the actions within the game. From time to time, Asus will release new firmware updates which fix bugs and add new enhancements to the tablet. To check what firmware you're currently on, go to Settings and About Tablet and scroll down to Build Number. In this example, I'm currently on 0.28 update. In order to update your firmware, press on System Firmware Update and then check Update. In this example, there is no firmware to update, but when there is, it will install new firmwares, which takes about 10 minutes. There is good news for anyone with an Asus Transformer Prime who has issues with the GPS within the tablet. Asus have recognised the problem and are actually sending out free GPS dongles to anybody who wants one before the 31st of July 2012. Here's how to get one. You will need to direct your browser to vip.asus.com and create a new account with Asus. Once you have an account, you can choose an option on the left-hand menu which says TF201 GSP Extension Kit. Once you've finished reading the apology, you can go to the bottom of the screen and start filling out the personal details. One thing you will need is the Asus Transformer Prime serial number from your tablet. To get this, go to the settings, press About Tablet and then press on Status. At the bottom of this page is the serial number which you will require. After submitting your application, it should take about 2 or 3 weeks for the dongle to arrive, and as far as I'm aware, this is a worldwide offer, and mine arrived in the UK free of charge. From then on, you should have working GPS. Backing up your data is always a good idea for any electronic device, and the Asus Transformer Prime comes with App Backup. It's very simple to use. The program lists all your applications installed on the tablet, and you can scroll up and down to individually select them. And you can choose to either back up just the data within the application or the data and the application. There's also a useful select and deselect all to back up all your applications. Bear in mind that you can only back up 600 meg of data, so it's unlikely that you'll be able to back up the data and the application once you have quite a few applications installed. Once you've made your selections, press the backup button in the top right to store it to a location such as a micro SD card, and the process will take about 20 minutes. The restore list on the left hand side shows you all the previous backups you've made, and if you press on any of them, it will give you the option to then replace the current data with the backed up data. Admittedly, this is quite a primitive app backup application, so check on the marketplace for more and better alternatives. One of the advantages of the Asus Transformer family is the ability to remote desktop to a PC or laptop and have it displayed on your Asus Transformer Prime by use of a Wi-Fi network. It requires a little bit of setup, but it is free to do, so here's how to do it. First of all, you will need the streaming software for the computer, so go to www.splashtop.com, and once you're there, you need to go to the product area and then click on Get Streamer to get the streaming software for the computer. Once you've installed and launched the streaming software, it's ready to start broadcasting to make your Asus Transformer Prime connect to it. All you need to do is set up a password for the streaming software on the computer. Now you can go to your Asus Transformer Prime. The application you want to launch from your Prime is called My Cloud, and when you press on it, you'll have a couple of options on the left hand side. You want to choose My Desktop, and once you launch that, it should hopefully automatically detect and connect to your Splashtop broadcasting computer.
Press on that connection and that should give you the option to type in a password that you previously put into your computer. And once you press OK, you should see that the two screens kind of do a little rejig, and now you can see that the Asus Transformer Prime is now remotely displaying the laptop from the tablet. For free software, this is quite fast and stable, and you can use a mouse on the Asus Transformer Prime, but there are some limitations to it. Please check the Splashtop website for more details on this.
You will download many applications for your Asus Transformer tablet, so it's a good idea to do a spring clean every once in a while to make sure that everything with them is running okay. The best way to do this is to use the little download icon on the right hand side of the marketplace, and this will take you into the application management screen. You will then be presented with a list where applications are shown that are automatically updated, but there are also applications that you may need to update manually. By pressing on the update, this will update the application and then show you a little notification in the bottom right hand of the tablet, and it will indicate when it has been successfully updated. Pressing on the All button in the top left hand side of the screen will show you any application you have ever installed on any Android device using this current Google account. It's a useful option for when you want to download applications onto multiple Android devices and sync them together. Sadly, when it comes to the screen, the Asus Transformer Prime has a somewhat tarnished reputation, so it's a good idea to download an application which can help you find out any problems with the screen as soon as you buy it. Screen Test, for example, gives you the option to change the screen to many different colours in order for you to find light bleed by turning the screen black and looking along the borders, and also changing it to these different colours as you can see on the video now, which will help you look for any dead or fixed pixels. Thankfully for me, there weren't any, but there have been many reports of Asus Transformer Prime screen issues. The sad and simple truth is that the speaker is not loud enough on the Asus Transformer Prime, so I recommend downloading an application such as Equalizer, which allows you to change the decibel level of the speakers as shown here. It can boost the volume as much as 50%, but I don't recommend taking it to the highest level, as this could in the long term damage your Asus Transformer Prime speaker. I recommend taking it up maybe 3/4 of the way. And of course, you do this all at your own risk. A fairly recent addition to the Google Maps application is the ability to download maps while you're connected to the internet and then be able to view them offline. In order to do this, you simply need to press the settings button in the top right hand corner and then select the make available offline option. Once you do that, a blue window will appear and you can use pinch to zoom in and out of a map in order to select how much you want to download. At the bottom is a size indicator, and if you go above a certain amount it will turn red to show you that the size you're trying to download is too big. Once you're happy with your selected area, you can press done in the top right hand button of the screen in order to start the actual download. In this example I'm downloaded about 80 meg, which took about 5 minutes to download. When the download has completed, it will appear as a map in My Places, so you can simply press on the map in order to view it. Now I'm going to demonstrate by turning off Wi-Fi and then continuing to search through the map as I usually would. One of the big drawbacks with this current use of offline maps is you cannot select in between satellite and maps as demonstrated here. It simply says that this function is not available in offline map viewing mode. However, as shown in this screen, satellite pictures are downloaded and you can switch to them if you are connected to Wi-Fi. Yes, I know that doesn't quite make sense, but that seems to be the way it works. Now, if I zoom in too much, you will see that the map simply disappears, so it doesn't download a very detailed picture in satellite mode. One other problem is you can't use the GPS or directions when you're in offline mode. One of the more frivolous and fancy features of Ice Cream Sandwich is the ability to perform a face unlock on your device, like this. Here is how to do it. First of all, you will need to go to Settings on your device and then scroll down to Security, and from there you should see an option that says Face Unlock. Press here and then follow the on-screen instructions. At some point the device is going to need to take a picture of you, so make sure you're prepared for that by sitting in a good position where the dotted line can make a scan of your face. In this example, it's actually scanning the camera as well. Now you can't exclusively rely on the face unlock option, so you have to choose a backup as well. In this example, I'm choosing a pattern unlock. So if the camera fails to pick up your face, you have to use a pattern unlock instead. Once you've completed that, you're all done and ready to go. Now, as I will demonstrate, this face unlock option is actually very accurate and very fast. There we are, very simple, took about half a second to unlock the tablet. However, I'm not entirely sure how secure this is, considering that I could unlock the tablet with my thumb. Of course, that's a very VGJ Felix-centric way of doing it, but just how secure is it if somebody else uses their own thumb? For a long while, my application wasn't available on the Google Play Marketplace, so if you downloaded it and tried to install it, you may have encountered this problem. It's a security check which prevents you from installing applications that you've not downloaded or purchased from Google Play, but there is a way to switch this off and it's very easy. Go to Settings and scroll down to Security, and then scroll down to Device Administration. Tick the Unknown Sources checkbox, and then that will enable you to install any application no matter where you've downloaded it from, as demonstrated here. Now of course this does bring with it its own risk, so make sure you know what you're doing when you download applications not from the Google Marketplace and install them. And of course, my application is now available on the Marketplace. With the amount of apps and widgets that you will download for your tablet, home screens can get pretty cluttered pretty quickly. So an idea is to condense all your applications into folders by picking them up with a long press and dropping them onto each other. This will automatically create a folder. Simply press on a folder to open it and press on the wording if you want to rename your folder into something more appropriate. To disband a folder, simply remove all the icons from the folder and they will go back to their original state. Let's not beat around the bush here. Live wallpapers for Android devices are fantastic. They offer you another unique way to personalise your home screen, such as these demonstrations that I am showing you here. And some of them are even interactive when you touch on the screen like this. So, how do you get a live wallpaper? Well, that's very easy. Do a long press on any blank part of your home screen and that will bring up the wallpaper option, and simply choose live wallpaper and select one. You can download more live wallpapers like any other application from the Google Marketplace. Some are free, some cost money. But be warned, some of the live wallpapers do actually impact on the performance of the tablet. As well as the micro SD and SD card slots of the Asus Transformer, you can also use a USB port of the keyboard dock to plug in a portable hard drive to give you even more storage capacity. All you have to do is plug it directly into the Transformer, and as you can see, the Transformer can power the hard drive, and then you can use it like any other storage device by pressing on the folder from the notifications menu. A word of warning though, if you intend to use a USB hub, you will probably need to get one that is capable of powering portable devices, as in this demonstration when I use a cheap one, it does not work with a portable hard drive, and therefore I cannot use it as a USB hub. The Asus Transformer dock brings with it many advantages, and another one is a trackpad which works just like a laptop. You can use left clicks and right clicks on the trackpad to use different instructions. You can turn it on and off very quickly using a function key on the tablet dock, as demonstrated here. When you start scrolling your finger on the trackpad, a mouse pointer or gesture cursor will appear, and if you tap on the trackpad, it's the same as a left click. Using two fingers on the trackpad will initiate gesture controls, such as scrolling vertically and horizontally, and also pinch to zoom, as demonstrated here. You can customize the way the trackpad works if you go to Settings and then Asus Customize Settings and going down to Touchpad Mouse Options, where you will find a number of options to change how the right mouse button works, the touchpad gesture controls, and so on. Task killing is basically forcing an application to shut down whether it wants to or not. It seems like a good way to free up RAM and resources, but it's not ideal because Android, if working properly, should manage itself quite well, especially on a powerful tablet such as a Transformer. However, if an app is misbehaving and does not shut down properly, task killing is sometimes the only option. You can do this through a task manager app by selecting the app you want to kill, or the more extreme variant of using a task killing widget which will close all applications. Just like computers, Android tablets are capable of copying and pasting. All you need to do is long press on some text and then use one of the blue markers to drag and select all the text you want to copy, and then at the top of the screen you can press the copy button. Once the text is copied to the clipboard, you can go to any application where you can input text, long press on the screen, and then there should be a paste button in the top right hand corner of the screen so you can paste the text into it. Now of course the Asus Transformer does have a keyboard dock, so you would think that Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V would do exactly the same thing. However, as you can see in this demonstration, I've copied some new text, but when I paste it in, it's pasting in the old text. Unfortunately, copying and pasting is very unreliable, so use the long press on the tablet screen. This is perhaps one of the most obvious features of a modern day tablet. If you tilt the screen vertically, it shifts to a portrait mode. If you tilt the screen horizontally, it shifts to a landscape mode, and many applications accommodate this feature. You can turn this feature off, however, by bringing up the status menu and pressing the appropriate icon. Now your screen is locked even if you tilt it. Some applications will bypass this, however, and force the screen to whatever mode it's designed for, such as Flipboard. But you can get applications that completely lock down the screen mode and force it to remain in either portrait or landscape mode, as demonstrated here. Every time you install a new app, you need to make sure you check out what the application does. When you press the install button, a list of application permissions appear, detailing what it does, such as accessing the internet, using geographical location, and so on. You can check your currently installed apps too by pressing on the little download button in the top right of the Googleplay app. Take into consideration, however, that some apps, like mine, ask for permissions as a generic list, such as access to the camera, even if the app doesn't actually use it. Ultimately, you're the person pressing the install button, so the responsibility lies with you. Launching applications from your Asus Transformer keyboard dock does not come as standard, but there is a way to do it with an application called AnyCut, and here is how you do it. First of all, choose New Shortcut and then select Activity, and then scroll a long way down to Quick Launch. Press OK, and that should now give you a launch icon on the home screen. Once you press on Quick Launch, you'll find applications on the left hand side and keys on the right hand side. Press on any of the keys and then choose an application. When you choose an application, it's now mapped to that key. So on the keyboard dock, if you press search and that key, it will launch the application. In this example, I use search J to launch Google Maps. Here are a few more examples of me mapping keys to quick launch. So I mapped search F here to Friendcaster. The next one I'm going to do is search G, which is mapped to Google+. And finally, I've mapped search H to the BBC application. Of course, you can map any application to any key, and there's plenty of keys to choose from. And perhaps the best news of all, AnyCut is free. The link to the application is in the description.